Senator Whitehouse, thank you, Chairman. I'm gonna try to squeeze in 2 quick questions in my 4 minutes. Lindsay, stick around because I'm gonna say something nice about you. First, yes to 230. We've got to really work on that. There's a lot of folks who want to fix 230, some even want to get rid of it completely, right here in this committee. Oh, first question, you know how you promise to enforce laws fairly, based on facts? Well, would that also count for problems with the environment, like pollution? Yes, Senator, I'm worried because, when Trump was president, fewer bad guys got in trouble for polluting. And you're going to be in charge of a special group that deals with nature and stuff, and they have a team for methane gas. Big companies that pollute a lot, and who gave lots of money to get President Trump re-elected, they don't like that team. And they're going to come to you and say, hey, we don't want too much fuss about these methane leaks or carbon dioxide leaks. It's like a messy thing, messing up our water and air. Will you be strong when that happens? Bondi, Senator, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm pretty strong and I do my own thing. And I will. I think you and I chatted about this in your office a bit. I don't know a whole lot about that specific issue, but I promise to meet with the ENRD group and talk to you about it. I wish I knew more about the problem you're facing, but I don't. But I promise to totally look into it and do what I can to help you in your state. I don't want problems with the environment being ignored, like a forgotten kid. It's a law, just like any other law. So, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse gave Pam Bondi, who Trump wanted to be in charge of justice, a really direct challenge during her interview. He basically said, show me you are trustworthy and fair by how you handle pollution problems. He really wanted to know if Bondi would stand strong and protect the environment, even if it meant going against powerful companies that had given money to Trump's campaign. Whitehouse really zoomed in on the group that handles nature stuff and its team that looks at methane gas. Big oil and gas companies really didn't like these rules and wanted to get rid of them. He pointed out that way fewer people got in trouble for pollution when Trump first started, which he said was a huge warning sign. It looked like the rules were being ignored on purpose, and friends of the president were getting special treatment. Bondi answered by saying she was strong and independent, and she promised to meet with the group and take the issue seriously. But then she also showed she didn't know much about stopping methane leaks. She just made vague promises to look into it. For Whitehouse, this talk showed more than just her not knowing something. It showed a worrying pattern where public groups might be helping big companies instead of the people. He made it clear that environmental laws shouldn't be something we just forget about or see as a bother for politics. Bondi's vague promises and not being ready made people even more worried. It seemed like she was chosen not because she was super smart, but because she was loyal to one political side. This was like a bigger problem with Trump's choices, picking loyal people over really good, independent leaders. The second, question I want to get to goes back to Chairman Grassley's first comments. He said it's gonna be really important for the Department of Justice, with you in charge, to answer questions from all senators, both Republicans and Democrats. And to give us real answers. Sometimes, the best way to keep an eye on things comes from the other political team. And sometimes, the best way to keep an eye on things comes from just one senator who keeps asking about the same thing, over and over, even if no one else on the committee helps them. And that kind of looking over has been super important in the past, and it's really important now. So Chairman Grassley has been really good about trying to make sure that rule is followed. And I want to tell you just a quick story about something that went wrong. I think Crossfire Hurricane was mentioned by Senator Graham earlier. There was a committee investigation into Crossfire Hurricane. During that investigation, the department and the FBI gave tons and tons of stuff to Republican senators. They got files, they got police reports, they got internal notes, they got stuff that you usually couldn't get through public records requests. They were really able to dig deep because they got everything they asked for, even stuff the FBI wouldn't normally show. That was happening for the Republicans. For me, I had questions about Justice Kavanaugh's extra background check. And I asked for things like, what's the Department of Justice's rule for how tip lines work? That's a question you should be able to get answers to, a public records kind of question. I didn't get a single piece of paper. I asked for things like, what are the basic rules for investigations when they do extra background checks? I didn't get a single piece of paper. Senator Graham even called the Deputy Attorney General to his office and said, will you guys please stop messing around and give this guy some information? So, I've seen it firsthand. If you're a Republican on this committee when a Republican president is in charge, you get everything you ask for and more. And if you're a Democrat, you get nothing. That wasn't a great time for me, and not a great time for the department. And so, I'll take the chairman at his word that he wants the department to answer questions from all of us. And I would ask you, will you answer all of us, no matter what political team we are on, if we are asking fair questions that you can answer? Bondi, Senator, I think I've said that from the very beginning, yes. Especially about the Freedom of Information Act. I will follow the rules that apply to the Freedom of Information Act. I believe in that. I actually dealt with public records when I was a state prosecutor. It's been so long ago, I'd forgotten about that. So I handled all the public records. Whitehouse, one just sort of point of order here, the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act process, is one thing. Anyone can get information under the Freedom of Information Act process. As senators, we should be able to do better than that. When we're doing worse than that, that's a sign that somebody's hiding something. When we're doing better than that, that's a good thing for Congress keeping an eye on things. Thank you, Chairman. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse really went off, blasting the Department of Justice for playing favorites between political parties. He said Pam Bondi, instead of stopping this bad behavior, seemed ready to just keep it going. He showed a very clear, undeniable difference. During the Crossfire Hurricane investigation, Republican senators got tons of stuff from the DOJ and FBI. They got secret notes, sensitive reports, and private papers that the public couldn't get even with the FOIA request. But when Whitehouse asked for normal papers he should be able to get during the Kavanaugh judge confirmation, like basic rules about how FBI tip lines work, he got absolutely nothing. Not one piece of paper, not one answer. Even when Senator Lindsey Graham himself talked to the main person in charge, the answer was the same: the government just blocked him. Why? Because Whitehouse was on the wrong political team. Bondi's answer was like she was trying to avoid everything. She just said the same old boring phrase, a plain promise to follow the law, and talked about her old job dealing with public records in Florida. As if that made her ready to fix a Justice Department that was in big trouble. But being a leader means being clear, not just giving vague answers. When faced with a real challenge about whether the DOJ could be trusted, Bondi gave the absolute minimum answer, and even that felt fake. She didn't promise to make things better. She didn't talk about the unfairness. She just avoided, changed the subject, and played it down. Whitehouse wasn't asking for special favors, he was asking for fair treatment. His point wasn't about papers, it was about a dangerous habit of the government playing favorites, where being open and honest was only for those loyal to the right political side. The mess with the Kavanaugh papers wasn't a small mistake. It showed that the DOJ was being used like a weapon to protect friends and stop anyone who criticized them. And Bondi, instead of trying to fix things, made it clear she was just another part of that messed up system. Her refusal to admit there was a partisan difference wasn't a misunderstanding. It was like she was saying it was okay. She wasn't there to make things fair again. She was there to protect the bad guys. So let's be super clear. Pam Bondi didn't go into that meeting room to defend the rules. She showed up to defend Trump's way of picking and choosing who gets justice. When Senator Whitehouse showed how the DOJ was keeping things secret for one party, Republicans got tons of papers, Democrats got nothing, Bondi didn't push back. She didn't promise to be open. She dodged, avoided, and gave out boring, prepared lines like a spokesperson, not someone serving the public. This isn't just about stopping pollution or the Kavanaugh cover-up. It's about how our government groups are rotten inside. Bondi had a chance to stand up and say that justice wouldn't be decided by political teams. Instead, she confirmed what many people already feared: she's not there to clean up the DOJ. She's there to protect the people who broke it. If you're sick of this unfairness, if you're tired of seeing powerful people help other powerful people while the truth gets buried, then don't just watch, speak up. Drop a comment below, share this video, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated.